Welcome everyone to our Week 4 NFL predictions. I'm Isaac, a Panthers fan. That is Daniel, a Texans fan. And we had a decent week last week, considering how wild and chaotic it was. I went 11-5. I was shocked to hear that. Daniel, you went, what was it, 10-6?
10-6, yes. I was one game behind you. We had 3 swing games, which you got 2 of them right. I got 1 wrong. I got 1 right, that is. I got 2 wrong. I got the Niners beating who did they beat?
They beat the Cardinals? Yeah, and I had the Steelers over Patriots, and I had Panthers over Falcons. Boy, that one felt good. Oh, man.
That turned out to be a good pick. I was starting to doubt you. Like, really? You're just going to pick the Panthers every game? But
loyalty, man. It paid off for once.
Y'all just whooped them. That was a really good game. But, yeah, welcome to our Week 4 predictions. Hope you all are doing well. We're going to pick some wild games. There will also be some games that'll probably be pretty easy. But I do want to also say to our football fans, which is that I'm going to say this is a little early. We're starting to get to the point where appreciate football season while it's there. We're already going to be 4 weeks in, which, like, if it were a 16-game schedule, it's kind of a quarter of the way, which not really. It's still, like, I guess 20%. But enjoy football season while you can. Basically, the first quarter is coming to a wraps, and we have some exciting games on the dock.
It's going by way too fast, but it's been a heck of a season so far.
Yeah.
Hopefully it slows down because, my goodness, I'm not ready for the next offseason. I'm really not. But,
oh my God. Yeah,
man, enjoy it while you can for sure. We're going to go ahead and dive right in here with the Thursday night game. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals in a showdown between division rivals. Both teams sitting at 2-1 right now. Both share a common loss to the 49ers and a common win to the Saints.
True.
So I think they both look equally good against the 49ers, but the difference for me is Seattle what played against more of their starters. The 49ers are much more injured now when they played Arizona than they were in Week 1, of course. And their common win was against New Orleans, and, I mean, compare the final scores. I think we know which team looked better against New Orleans. Seahawks beat the absolute crap out of them. Arizona let them hang on for too long. That being said, it's a home game for Arizona. I think they've got a really good defense. The key matchup for me is going to be Seattle's offensive line against Arizona's defensive line. And if their offensive line can hold up, I think Seattle should be able to win this game. But having watched Arizona's defensive line play really well against Carolina's offensive line, and we got a good line, I think that Arizona's going to create some pressure. I think Sam Darnold is going to have some issues in this game. And if Arizona's offense can move the ball enough, I think they can win this game. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be really probably a pain to watch, but I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one. Maybe a slight upset, but I feel all right about it. What about you?
Well, it's a really interesting prediction, and I just got to say, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first swing game already. I'm picking the Seahawks here. I don't feel great about it. This is a weird game to predict. Like, it seems like they're just two, pretty equal teams. And, like, I know you mentioned, and I'm not even, like, they had a couple of common opponents, like 2 out of 3. And I didn't even factor this in as well, which is that the Seahawks beat the crap out of the Saints, whereas the Cardinals kept it close. That didn't even factor into my prediction necessarily. What I also noted is that they both lost to the 49ers by low-score efforts. Seahawks lost 13-17, and Cardinals lost 15-16. So also similar scores there. But yeah, I'm picking the Seahawks to win.
I mean, they've passed the eye test better so far the past couple weeks than Arizona has. They have a nice win against Pittsburgh.
I've been pretty impressed with them so far. They did beat Pittsburgh. They did beat the crap out of New Orleans. Lost barely to the 49ers. Cardinals, I just wasn't like it. It seems like they almost like it away against Carolina, and I just think Seahawks look a little bit better, and it just seems like I just think Seahawks.
Oh, I wouldn't even disagree with it. I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I think that they probably are the better team overall. In my opinion, these teams are going to split the season series, and I'm just going to say the home team wins both. But we'll see. We'll see. Interesting swing game to start us off here. I got the Cards. You got the Seahawks. All right, next up, you got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is an international game. A lot of intrigue here. The Vikings looked really good against the Cincinnati Bengals last week, and I give most of the credit to Jake Browning trying to lose the game for Cincinnati, basically. That's sure what it looked like. Steelers, they won a sloppy game for similar reasons. Patriots running backs just didn't want to hold onto the ball, so they did their best to lose that game as well. So both of these teams coming off pretty good wins against pretty bad teams currently. And I don't know what to expect from this. I believe Carson Wentz is going to be starting for Minnesota in 2025. He's a starting quarterback. Carson Wentz against Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go with the Vikings here because I believe they have the better roster overall. I believe they found more of an identity in offense this past week. They were able to run the ball really well. They have a quarterback who can actually run the offense. As I said at one point, it's sort of like Jimmy G to the Niners. I think Carson Wentz just has to be the Jimmy G of this offense. He just has to manage and not throw the game away. Let the running back do his job, get the ball to your weapons at receiver and tight end. The offense should be able to put up points against the Steelers defense that has not been that good this season. I think Jordan Mason should be able to run the ball pretty well. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. As for the Steelers offense, I don't trust them against this Vikings defense. I think this Vikings defense is really good. They're a very good unit, and I don't know. It's going to be a gross game. I won't be watching it. I promise you that. Give me Minnesota.
All right. Well, that's really interesting stuff. And yeah, again, it's a really tough game to predict. I mean, like, you know, it definitely seems like the momentum would be on the Vikings side, to where like, oh, they just had like a 48 to whatever, you know, win, you know, against the Bengals. I know the Bengals had like, you know, Jake Browning and everything like that, but it still looks very convincing. It's a really hard game to pick. I guess our second game we're talking about already, to where it's like, I don't know, it's gonna be kind of ugly. You would think either way. I'm actually, if anything, probably gonna go maybe against the grain. That's what I predict what most people would do, which is ride high the Vikings. We have another swing game here. I'm actually picking the Steelers here. Now, the Steelers have given me a hard time. I don't know if you've noticed, but week 1, well, we both picked the Steelers and they won. But then week 2, I picked them against the Seahawks and they lost. Ooh. So then I picked against them week 3 against the Patriots. I did pick against them and they won. So hopefully the Steelers just don't give me bad luck.
That's really funny because that means that those are both swing games for us. That's crazy, dude.
That's true. Yeah. No, definitely. So like, you know, just but yeah, they are both swing games already. So it'll be, you know, interesting to see. Hopefully the Steelers aren't kind of my bad luck charm here, to where like I'm going to pick them and then the Vikings are going to win this one. I mean, I think ultimately the Vikings, I think they'll come to earth a little bit with Carson Wentz and things like that. You know, I know we're looking at Justin Jefferson's stats, I think, during our, reaction stream. He didn't exactly look impressive. I think it was a lot like the defense and things like that.
It was really that the offense didn't have to do anything after they were gifted the early lead. They just leaned on the run game.
Yeah. No, I think the Steelers have the ability to kind of ugly it up and win some type of like 21-14 game or maybe 21-17. But I don't know. We'll see. Definitely very odd that the Vikings scored 48, and then here we are talking about an ugly performance.
Well, that's just how these teams are. When you have Carson Wentz and Aaron Rodgers quarterbacking your teams in 2025, you can't expect a lot of excitement.
Not a whole lot, nope.
I am so sorry, Ireland. Moving on, it's the Washington Commanders taking on the Dirty Birds of Atlanta. They put up a stinker last week, 0-30 loss to my Carolina Panthers. You love to see it. Washington, they hung 41 on the Vegas Raiders with Marcus Mariota in at quarterback. Because it's 2025, why wouldn't that happen in the NFL this season? Of course, what a great year for the NFL. We do not currently know, as of the time of this recording, if Jaden Daniels is going to play. I'm not sure if I care. After watching Atlanta play last week, I cannot pick them in this game. There's no way I can do that. Their offense is abysmal, and I think Washington's defense is good enough to hold them in check. I mean, Carolina shut them down, and I don't think we have an elite defense. I like our defense just fine, but, I mean, we held them to 0. I would expect Washington is capable of keeping it low scoring, and based on what we saw from them against the Raiders, they're going to be able to put up points if Mariota isn't at quarterback, and I think this is just kind of a revenge tour for Marcus Mariota. He played for the Falcons. He beat the Raiders last week, who he previously played for. True. So keep the revenge tour going if Mariota is in, and if Jaden is in, I have no doubt Washington should win this game. So give me the Commanders.
Yep. Give me the Commanders, too. I was very tempted to pick the Falcons, especially if Jaden doesn't play. I could see, again, like Marcus Mariota maybe coming down to earth a little bit, but one, this could be under the assumption that, like, maybe Jaden Daniels will play. And if I pick the Falcons and Jaden plays and he plays well, I'm going to look stupid. And obviously, like, they looked pretty abysmal against y'all. Even their win against the Vikings was not very impressive. So they have just not looked like a very good football team overall. And I think the Commanders, I think they're well coached and like everything like that, to where even if Marcus Mariota has to play again, like he probably could win another game against Atlanta. I mean, it isn't in Atlanta, so it does make me a little
another thing. This is the Dan Quinn revenge game, too. I'm sure he's already had one of those, but Dan Quinn, former Falcons coach, I expect him to outcoach the Falcons coach here.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, the Dan Quinn revenge game as well. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Commanders here. I think that's just kind of like the safe pick. And if the Falcons win, so be it. That'd be a little surprising given them having come off that game. But
Yeah, best game of the
maybe
year.
Yeah.
All right, we're both going the Commanders here, so hopefully we're
Yeah.
right, I guess. I don't want Atlanta to
You
win,
never know, you
so.
never know, but yeah.
Next up, you've got the worst team in the league taking on the Buffalo Bills. So, I'm thinking the Buffalo Bills just win this game 70-0. That's all I got.
That sounds about right. I mean, Josh Allen versus Spencer Rattler. Yeah, Bills win next game.
Alrighty, we've got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Detroit Lions. Now, the Browns, they just are coming off a win against the Green Bay Packers, who destroyed the Detroit Lions. So, basically, according to the transitive property, the Cleveland Browns are better than the Lions by a lot. Like, not even close. So, logically, I'm going to take the... No, I'm not. I'm taking the Lions. Easy. Easy Lions win. I don't care.
Yeah.
The Lions look elite right now. They have recovered well from that loss. I cannot imagine the Browns actually go and beat Detroit at Detroit, right? So, no, give me the Lions all day.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions too. I mean, again, the NFL just has like weird games every week. Like this week or last week, I guess, was the Browns defeating the Packers. Very weird low scoring effort where the Packers were up 10-0 with like 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. But there was like was it a fumble or I forget. There was like a fumble or
There's a terrible interception by Love
Jordan
and then the blocked field goal.
And then, there's the whole blocked field goal and everything like that. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Lions. It wouldn't shock me. I know the Lions put up a lot of like 50 burgers. This might be a little bit hard to put up a 50 burger because the Browns defense is kind of decent, but I could definitely see like 35-10 or 35-17.
I expect it to be very similar to Ravens Browns from a couple weeks ago, where it's close for 2, maybe 3 quarters, but that second half offense for the Lions just kicks in and it's gonna get ugly. So.
Yeah, definitely. So, the Lions looked really good against the Ravens. Give me the Lions here against the Browns.
Second easiest prediction of the day. Moving on, you've got the 0-3 Tennessee Titans, as we expected, taking on the shockingly 0-3 Houston Texans. Tank Bowl? Kinda, sorta, not really. I mean, if the Texans lose, then might as well tank at that point, with Baltimore coming to town too. Yeah, this is looking ugly for Houston. They are shockingly underperforming. Frankly, they've been the biggest disappointment in the league. I mean, I was really high on them in the preseason, obviously too high. I thought that the offensive line was going to be a lot better with the additions they had, the changes they made, and I thought Stroud was in for a good season, but he just doesn't look good, and it's baffling. But I think this could be a get-right game for Houston. I know the Titans have a decent enough defense, better than people give them credit for. I know Indy just hung 41 on them, but who's going to stop Indiana Jones this season, right? So I'm going to say Houston cracks 20 points at least, and with that defense they got, Cam Ward's going to make some mistakes. That should be enough to beat the Titans. It might be a close game. The Titans aren't completely terrible. Like, they are capable of playing a decent game. But Houston should be able to win this game. And if they don't, just hit the panic button everywhere in Houston, because that would be tragic.
Right. At this point, it's like, who in the top 5 draft picks do we think we could possibly get? But, I'm going to agree with you here. Well, first of all, I thought it was funny. You were like, oh, Houston could crack at least 20 points. Like, it is kind of sad that's come down to that. Like, we need to score 20 points to, like, have a chance to win. But, but also what I did want to mention is that and I don't think a lot of people realize this, is that we could be 3-0 because Dario, and I'm not saying this like a delusional, if everything went
No, I agree. I thought about this as well. I agree.
Dario Gubuale doesn't fumble, we could be 1-0, and then obviously if we just contain Baker on 4th and 10, we'd be 2-0, and then, I mean, we should have beat the Jags. So, like, but anyway, I mean, 3-0, 0-3, that's the NFL. And I think, like, I don't think we're, like, at the same, as the same caliber of like 0-3 teams as like the Jets and the Saints and things like that.
No, there should be a huge difference between you guys and these other guys.
Clearly we're underperforming and we're not one of the better teams. I think I saw the power rank. He has about number 18 or something like that.
Something like that, which I thought was reasonable because it's not based on record, it's based on how good you are. And I mean, you played close with the Rams and the Bucs, who were both a combined 5-1.
So, I think this will be get right. If you look at the ways the Titans lost, I think they just got blown out all 3 times. Maybe they
No, they played close with Denver week 1. The Rams, the final score is misleading. They played really close for 3 quarters. But, in the end, it was a 14-point loss. Last week, they did just get blown out. It was ugly. It hasn't been
looking great for them. And, like, I mean, their, like, offense is just very anemic. Like, their team, again, I know you said their defense is pretty underrated, but just overall as a unit, like, they're just not very inspiring. But I'm gonna pick the Texans here. It would be crazy if we lost, but honestly, like, yeah, I'll say it. Not that's really profound, but if we lose, that's our season right there. Like,
No, because again, you play the Ravens the following week, and we've talked about it a lot. You guys just always lose to them, and
and I
they're going to
think
be looking for a win.
yeah, and I think only one 0-4 team like ever has made the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
I wouldn't be
I think
surprised.
the last 0-3 team to make the playoffs was us in 2018. So maybe history repeats itself, but I do think at the time, like, they did have like Deshaun Watson, them had like a pretty good offense, so which is not really the case here.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of the
I'm
inverse. You have a
almost
really good defense, but in today's league, I don't
yeah.
know if that'll get the job done. So far, it
Right, and
hasn't.
I've been very impressed with our defense, even when our offense is not doing jack diddly squat. Like, our defense is still playing very physical and things like that. But but yeah, we gotta get something going on offense. But anyway, I'm not gonna rant anymore about the Texans. I think we'll win. This will be get right, and then it'll be 1-3 Texans versus 1-3 Ravens. Actually, I definitely didn't spoil.
Oh boy,
Well, yeah,
good to
it's fine.
know.
Yeah, very
All
good to know.
right,
All right.
we both got Houston though. Let's hope they get it done. And right after discussing your team's game, we're going to move on to my team's game. It's the Carolina Panthers, who are coming off a 30-0 win, taking on the New England Patriots. Daniel, I want to hear your thoughts on this one. What have you got?
Yeah. No, definitely very interesting matchup. Y'all are coming off high, riding high. What am I trying to say? Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say. The
Yeah, I got you.
emotion
I
of
got you. Riding that
the
momentum.
emotion after a 30-0 win, and the Patriots just came off a close-ish loss to the Steelers. I think it was like 14-7 or something like that.
14 to
So
21, super sloppy game, man. Super
yeah,
sloppy.
so like very questionable on both sides. I think definitely the Patriots are not as good as we thought. We've talked about this before, but I will predict y'all to come down to earth. I am going to pick the Patriots here. Honestly, I think I think more if anything, like, y'all winning 30-0. I think if anything was like, and no offense, it was a little bit of an anomaly, I gotta say. I'm not going to expect this moving forward. So I pick the Patriots. But by how much do you have the Panthers winning?
I cannot possibly express my immense disappointment in you. Man, I thought maybe you'd make the right choice here. I tried to warn you last week. I took Carolina. I tried to warn
I'll
you.
have to see if I see y'all win week by week. I'll start to change my mind. But for now, I'm just gonna assume y'all lose games.
Well, I'm a loyal fan. You know I've got to back my team here, as long as it's reasonable, of course, and I'll make it reasonable if I have to.
Oh, this
But
is very reasonable. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
New England, if you think they're better than us, I can accept that. But they're not that much better. If you want to give them the edge because
Sure.
they're playing at home, that's fine. I can get behind that. But from what I've seen from New England, they've lost a close game to the Raiders, who we have learned are just terrible. They lost a close game to the Steelers, who I think we both agree are not that good. And having
Right.
kept an eye on that game, it was terrible. The Patriots do not look well coached at all, which is a shocker, honestly. And for some reason, they refuse to factor in Henderson into their run game as much as they should. I mean, Ramondre and Gibson are just going to keep fumbling games away, and they are still giving them carries. I don't understand it for them. The only thing that has me concerned about this game is the return of Christian Gonzalez at corner, because he's a very good corner and he can keep Ted McMillan locked down. So I'm a little worried about our passing game. It's going to come down to if we can run the ball, and I believe we can. I believe that our offensive line is going to be just fine against their defensive line. We're going to be able to run the ball. We're going to move it enough. We're going to have enough sustained drives. Also, our special teams unit, you can fact check me on this, we've been really good. I think we've been the best at the kickoffs, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, our opponent's average starting field position is at the 21, which is easily top 2. The Rams are up there at second. So best in the league for us. We got a good kicker now. Our special teams unit has been killing it. Over the past few weeks, our defense has been improving. We are actually, fact check me on this as well, we are on a 49-0 run over the past 5 or 6 quarters. We were outscored the Falcons 30-0, and at the end of the Cardinals game, we outscored them 19-0. This team has shown great improvement on defense over the past 6 quarters. It's because we've let our young players step up and get more action. All of this is going to come down to it being a super close game, I'm sure, and I respect that they should be favored because it's a home game. I'm going to take my Panthers. It's going to be an ugly game. It's going to give me several heart attacks, but I'm going to back my team here. I believe in our defense. Drake May is probably going to get us 250 yards or whatever, but JC Horn's going to lock down whoever their top receiver is. I'm going to take us all the way, man. No hesitation.
Yeah. I definitely can't blame you there. I mean, like, I think, like, especially coming off that win, like, you have to kind of like stay loyal. It'll be very interesting to watch. I mean, if y'all smack the Patriots again, I will actually start to feel optimistic about y'all, and like maybe y'all can make a run and be in that conversation to win like 8, 9, 10 games.
Yeah, fair warning. If we actually win this game, I'm probably gonna get really annoying, and I don't mean that like in a bad way. I'm gonna be running my mouth a lot because I barely get to do that.
It's football for fun. I'm here for it, but especially if y'all win and if my team loses, then the dynamic will be very interesting.
We're living up to our nicknames at that point.
That's true. Yeah.
Depressed and delusional. All right, Carolina all the way. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Next up, it's the undefeated LA Chargers taking on the New York Giants. It's the Darty Party. Jackson Dart making his first career start. A Dart start. Say whatever you want. I think it's an interesting move. I personally believe they should be starting Jameis Winston and letting Dart sit on the bench and learn. And also, this is a weird spot for him to make his first start. I mean, the Chargers have a very, very good defense. I do not like the spot for him. I'm not going to hesitate to take the Chargers. I really like them. I put them at second in my power rankings, which a lot of people, by a lot I mean probably everyone, disagrees with. But I feel good about that. They are a very good team. Right now, if the season ended, Justin Herbert is the MVP in my opinion. So I have no doubt the Chargers defense will contain the Giants offense, and I believe in the Chargers offense to move the ball on that stingy defense, stingier than you expect. Give me LA.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. I will pick LA too. I will say, though, like if there is like a major upset watch, this wouldn't shock me, partly because it is in New York, so the Chargers will be traveling cross country to do that. Now, granted, it's not like a primetime game or anything like that. I mean, it's probably like a noon game, right? Yeah, it's just a noon game, so it's not even necessarily that unusual, but but I mean, and Jackson Dart's first star, but I tend to agree with you there. I think like the potential reasons for the Chargers to win outweigh the potential reasons for them to lose. Wow, that was very profound.
That was some deep insight, man. Good stuff.
Very deep, very philosophical. But no, I think the Chargers have shown that they're one of the best teams in the league with Justin Herbert. I mean, like, Quentin Johnson's finally coming alive. Keenan Allen's still kicking it, and they seem to have a pretty good defense. So,
worth noting, by the way, Omarion Hampton had a really good game against Denver last week. So
true. Yeah,
their run game's coming alive.
Yep. So, unfortunately, Najee is he's like out, right? Like he's done.
Yeah, I think he had ACL or Achilles. It was something bad.
Yeah. So this is going to be Omarion Hampton's running.
It's his offense. It is his show.
It's his backfield.
Run game.
That's the word I was looking for. But this is Omarion Hampton's backfield. So I'm gonna take the Chargers here pretty comfortably. But the Giants pull off the upset. I mean, that'll be good for them. But
because that means Dart was probably very good if the Giants pull this off. Right. So there is the unknown here because we don't know what Dart is yet. I don't personally believe in him, and that's not because of the Giants. It's just because I didn't believe in him as a quarterback coming into the draft. I would love to be wrong, though. I'll be rooting for him. But there's the element of the unknown, and the Chargers have a history of choking. So, hey, would anyone really be that surprised?
Yeah, it's a good question. Probably
we'll see. We're taking the Chargers, though. We're not that bold. Moving on, in a battle of unbeatens, it's the 3-0 Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 3-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, these teams definitely had their fans stressed last week. Philadelphia won on a blocked field goal last week. They led. At the very end, the Rams go for the game winner, and Jordan Davis comes up with a block and runs it back for a touchdown. Insane stuff. Cost a lot of people some money. If you were betting on that game, we don't advise that. That sucks to suck, honestly. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers also almost blew it. They were leading against the Jets for most of that game, and then the Jets blocked a field goal, ran it back. They were winning, and then we had the third straight week of Baker Mayfield, Baker Bay, if you will, leading his offense downfield for that last-minute drive to take the lead in the fourth quarter. Insane stuff. Baker's been clutch, but overall Tampa has not scared me. I've talked about this a lot. I'm not worried about them. When they get healthy, yes, they'll be scarier. But right now, they've not been what we expected. Preseason, I think we both were pretty high in them. We were talking them up a little bit. I think I had them winning 11 or 12 games, but that was based on their offense being really, really good. Their offense has not looked good so far, and I get it. They're injured. They're doing the best they can right now, but that kind of scares me against the Philadelphia defense that is definitely above average. So this is probably going to be an ugly game. I know we've talked about Philadelphia. They're not exactly fun to watch. Very boring and methodical, but they get the job done. I know Tampa has a history of beating Philadelphia recently. It's kind of weird. I'm going to go against that trend, though. I'm going to take Philadelphia. They're going to stay undefeated. There's probably going to be the weekly tush push where there were 27 false starts, but they don't call it. Somehow, Philadelphia wins, and Baker Bay does not get the clutch last-minute touchdown drive this time.
Yep. Yeah, I think this would be a game. I think a lot of people actually will be picking the Bucs because they'll be like, oh, well, it's in Tampa, right?
True.
But also like the recent history and everything like that. But I'm actually with you there. I'm actually picking the Eagles as well. I think they're just the better team. I did also notice that they started to actually incorporate A.J. Brown into the game plan the second half of that game. And
right after he finished his book. Good of them to do that.
Yeah, right. And I assume that'll kind of like carry over and he'll be more consistently in the game plan. So they'll have a more well-rounded offense, I would think. And also it just seems like, just Baker Mayfield, he's had his luck, the first 3 games. I think he'll run out against the defending NFC champions. So I'm going to pick the Eagles here as well. I do think a lot of people will be picking the Bucs, but not me. I'll be picking the Eagles. If this were one where I actually was competing against you and trying to get another swing game, I probably would pick the Bucs, but no, I actually think the Eagles will win.
No, I think that's fair. It'll be interesting to see. If this were a healthy Buccaneers squad, I'd be more inclined to side with them, but looking at that injured offensive line and looking at all the big players Philadelphia has on that defensive line, specifically Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, I think they're probably going to feast. At some point, they're going to get to Baker. It'll be close, but we'll take Philly. Moving on, it's the Indianapolis Colts, surprise team of the year, taking on the LA Rams. The Rams coming off a tough loss against Philadelphia. They probably should have won it, but they choked, turning to the Falcons there. Indianapolis, led by Indiana Jones himself, they are stunning everyone. They have an elite offense. Surely that has to run out at some point. I'm going to say it's this week. The Rams are looking very good on defense, except for the second half of the game against Philadelphia. Overall, they look like they're really good on defense, and I think that they're going to be able to slow down Danny Dimes. He's going to make his first mistakes of the year, and I also think that the Rams offense should be able to move the ball on this Indy defense. So give me the Rams spoiling Indiana Jones' perfect streak so far.
Yep, I'm going to actually agree with you there. I'm actually going to pick the Rams here. I do think the Indianapolis Colts, they're having their Cinderella run. I mean, they started 3-0. They had a close game against the Broncos, though, but they beat the crap out of the Titans and the Dolphins as well. But I do think they're going to be tested really for the first time against the Rams, properly tested against like a really good team. And I do think the Rams are a better team and that they'll win against the Colts. Not to say, I still think the Colts are going to be a good team after this, obviously, but I just also think I'm just with you there. I mean, you actually said a lot of things that I was going to say. I think just that the Rams are just a little bit better and that they'll just end up winning the ball game.
All right, well, we're in agreement there. It'll be a game to keep an eye on, but we are both going to be picking the Rams here. Next up, it is the 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the 3-0 San Francisco 49ers. Now, the Niners, they've not impressed me so far, at least based on how they've looked on the field. But factoring in all the injuries they have to so many star players, it's amazing that they're 3-0. They're still playing good ball. Mac Jones, the Mac attack, if you will, he's doing really well in place of Brock Purdy. At some point, you're going to have to ask if he should be the guy moving forward for the rest of the year, that might sound crazy, but he is playing that well right now. And if they keep winning games, why make the change? Yeah. The Jacksonville Jaguars, though, they've also not looked impressive. Not at all. Their offense should be a lot better than it is, but it just isn't. It's been pretty putrid so far. Brian Thomas Jr. is doing a great job disappearing. Travis Hunter not being effective on offense. I don't know what he's doing on defense, to be honest, but offense, he's not done anything. So yeah, I think this is going to be an ugly game. I think I'm going to take the Niners here. I'm going to say Mac Jones is going to have a good day against that defense. That defense is playing fairly well, but Mac still has a plethora of weapons. You got Ricky Pearsall balling out at receiver. You still got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. I don't know if they have anyone else. I don't know if Jawan Jennings is going to play or not. But I'm going to go with the Niners. They're going to be able to put up enough points to stay ahead of Jacksonville, and I don't think that offense is good enough to keep up with the Niners. So give me San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm going to take San Francisco to start 4-0 as well. I mean, dating back since last week, I just thought, even with the injury to Brock Purdy, I believe enough in the Shanahan system to where Mac Jones is going to be able to, do what he needs to do. They still have Christian McCaffrey, and they're starting to, I think they're starting to get Ricky Pearsall more involved in the game plan, which is really good to see. Yeah, I'm going to pick the 49ers to win this game. I also don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars have looked all that impressive. It is more intriguing of a game than maybe we would have thought at the beginning of the season. Now there's actually some intrigue, but as I was saying earlier, it is Mac Jones against his former team. can't quite say a revenge game because, it's not like the Jags screw him over or anything like that. But, yeah, Mac Jones against one of his former teams, which is pretty interesting. We're seeing a lot of these matchups, like Mariota against his former team, now Mac Jones. But
NFL is wacky this year, man. They're going crazy.
I know, yeah. But I'm going to take the 49ers for here. I think the Shanahan system is going to continue to sort of do its thing. And the Niners are back, like it or not. Whether Brock Purdy or Mac Jones plays the rest of the games, Niners are back. I don't know if they're still NFC contenders, like Super Bowl contenders, but they're certainly up there. They're making their way.
They're definitely a playoff contender at the very least.
Definitely.
So Niners all the way in this one. Moving on, what could be the game of the week, possibly. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams, surprisingly, 1-2. The loser of this game is going to fall to 1-3, which I think is absolutely crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
That doesn't mean that their season's going to be over. I think both these teams probably wind up in the playoffs, one way or another. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think it's really very interesting. I mean, obviously, you have a tale of two 1-2 teams kind of getting there different ways. I mean, the Chiefs, they lost some good teams in like the Chargers and they lost the Eagles as well. So they lost some games that you kind of don't blame them for losing.
Yeah, those are to teams that are still undefeated, by the way. Their losses are to teams that are combined 6-0.
Yeah, definitely. I guess you could say the same for the Ravens because, I mean, they lost to the Bills in that shootout, and then they beat the Browns, and then they lost to the Lions. So they also lost some really good teams. It's just a kind of a situation where they both had tough schedules. Now they're facing each other. And like you said, the loser will be 1-3, which is like, most 1-3 teams are like likely not playoff teams. But in this case, you would think that whichever team loses, you still like their chances to make the playoffs. Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see like whichever team loses, what their percentage chance to make the playoffs is. I wonder, like, I'm guessing like maybe 60 or something like that, where it's like, like they should still be able to make it, but at some point you're digging yourself a hole, right? But I do think that'll be the Ravens that dig the hole even further. And I do think the Chiefs will win. I think they'll find a way. It just seems like, I think this rivalry has been pretty just lopsided in favor of Mahomes as far as like Mahomes versus Lamar. And I think, is it in Arrowhead or is it in? Yeah, it's in Arrowhead.
Yeah, it's in Arrowhead.
Which I guess that also kind of factored in a little bit. But I do think the Chiefs will win. I think they kind of found their mojo against the Giants. And, like Mahomes is going to like play a little bit more consistently. Hopefully they'll get the running game more consistently involved. But yeah, give me the Chiefs here. What about you?
I'm going Ravens. I spoiled it on the live broadcast the other night. We were commentating the Ravens game, and I'm not really down on the Ravens right now. I know their defense didn't look too promising, but that's going to be the battle here, isn't it? The Ravens' defense against the Chiefs' offense. Yep. And I've said if Xavier Worthy plays, then that could be a difference maker. If he comes onto the field and is super effective and that gets their offense going, that's a game changer. But I'm guessing based on what we've heard, what little we've heard, because right now we don't know if he's playing. If he does play, they're hoping it'll be like in a limited role. And to me, I think if he's going to really affect the game, it's not going to be in a limited role. It's going to be just starting, playing as much as you can. And maybe that's what happens, but as of right now, I'm going to say the Ravens should win this game. I think that their offense is so good they can put up points in any defense in the league, and I think that's not going to be any different against the Chiefs. They're going to be able to score some points. Will it be enough? Mm-hmm. Will they be able to put up enough points? I'm going to say yes. They need a bounce-back game after the offensive line crumbled around Lamar Jackson last week. This is going to be the first game of the year where Derrick Henry does not fumble the ball away, so we're going to say that's a difference maker. Baltimore wins a close thriller, and they get a head start above the Chiefs. I mean, this could be a tiebreaker later on.
It'll be really exciting to watch. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I think I wouldn't be shocked if the Ravens win this one either, but it'll be really fun to watch.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to this one. I'll be watching for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on from the game of the week, we have the Chicago Bears taking on the Vegas Raiders, a game I'm sure few of you are going to be watching unless you're a fan of these teams, in which case I am so sorry. This is not going to be a fun one. The Raiders have been pretty disappointing this season. They opened up with a win against New England, and we saw that and thought, okay, they're going to be a contender for the wildcard spot because we thought New England was pretty good. And they have collapsed for the past couple weeks. The Chargers beat up on them, and then Marcus Mariota and that Commanders offense hung 41 on them. So that does not bode well for that Raiders defense. And Caleb Williams, he's coming off his best game as a pro, albeit against the Dallas Cowboys secondary, who makes everyone not named Jalen Hurts look good as a passer. So I think the Bears are probably going to continue their success on offense. That they've kind of turned it around last week, and I think they were pretty decent against the Lions too. I'll say that they still got 21 points there, they just couldn't keep up. I'm going to pick the Bears in this game. Their offense should be able to put up enough points. I think their defense will surrender some points, but
Yep.
I don't know. I don't trust the Raiders at this point. I can't pick them after what we've been seeing. Give me the Bears.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat too. Like, I don't love either team, but if anything, I am encouraged by what I saw from the Bears. I did think a little bit like maybe a week or two ago that like it didn't look like this whole Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams thing was going to work out. But I think you maybe pointed out that like, maybe it's just like Ben Johnson coaching Caleb Williams. It's taking time to like marinate and everything like that. And it does look like, I know the Cowboys defense isn't all that impressive, but Caleb is, he's quietly having a good year. 7 touchdowns, 1 pick, 107 passer rating. So he's actually just passing the ball, like just box score wise, having a pretty good year. And I do think ultimately, like the Raiders, just I do not like what I've seen from them. So I'm gonna take the Bears here. I think that's also a pretty comfortable pick for me.
Yeah, agreed. And I'm going to say it again because it was a preseason prediction for me. If the Bears win this game and get to 2-2, or they be 2-2 then, and with the schedule they have coming up, I still think that they could be a team to watch out for in the NFC wildcard race. And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but why not? If they can keep this up and the schedule they have, why not? I'm just putting that out there.
This will be a really big game for them to sort of kind of put their stake in the in that race.
If they lose this game though, I'm out. I'm out on their playoff chances at that point. Goodness.
At that point, right? Yep.
Must-win game for the Bears. Sunday Night Football. Once again, for some reason, we've said that for the past couple weeks now. Why is this a Sunday night game? Preseason, I got it, but right now it looks so bad, man. Packers taking on the Cowboys.
Parsons revenge game.
Micah Parsons revenge game. Yeah, he is probably going to feast. Dallas is not going to have their top receiver, CeeDee Lamb, in this game. So whoever Green Bay's top corner is will be guarding George Pickens, and he should probably do fairly well. Pickens has not done that well even as a wide receiver too this season. So I don't see the Dallas offense doing much. Once they lost CeeDee Lamb against the Bears, it was really ugly, man. It was really ugly. Mm-hmm. And the Packers have a very good defense. I'm inclined to say top 2 or 3 in the league right now. So I'm not going to hesitate here. The Packers should win this game. It might be ugly or it might be a blowout. I guess either way, that's ugly. But Packers should be able to score at least 20 points on this putrid, pathetic Dallas secondary. Jordan Love should have a great game. Give me the Packers. No hesitation.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Packers here. It would be a pretty weird upset if the Cowboys won, especially just the Packers are the better team. It's the whole Micah Parsons revenge game. I'm sure Jerry Jones is going to be booed. I don't even know. Is it in Dallas or Green Bay?
It is in Dallas. Yeah.
Regardless, he's going to be booed like he's the most hated man in the stadium, right? But, I don't know, just one of those. I think the Packers are going to win. I mean, we'll see how good of a game Micah Parsons has. It wouldn't shock me if he has 3.5 sacks and has the game of his career. But also if he just had a 1 or 2 sack game and just played pretty good enough.
There's gonna be at least one big play by him that everyone's gonna talk about. He gets his revenge or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. But I do predict the Packers to win the Micah Parsons revenge game.
Absolutely. This is a game you probably don't even want to turn on, at least not for long. You only watch this one for the memes, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be commentating, but even if we did, it would probably be another disappointing Sunday night game. The previous Sunday night game was also disappointing, right?
It was Chiefs-Giants, and before that, the worst game we've seen in a while, Falcons-Vikings.
Right. So, I wouldn't have too high expectations, especially for Cowboys fans.
Yeah, they keep giving us these stinkers on Sunday Night Football. They got to turn it around, man. They got to turn it around. Anyway, we're taking Green Bay here pretty easily. No hesitation.
Uh-huh.
Monday Night Football, another horrible primetime game. Who is creating the schedule? Can we have a word with that person, please?
Yeah, what a slay. What a doubleheader. What a kickoff to the doubleheader Monday night. Absolute atrocity.
So bad. It is so bad. I mean, even in the preseason, who thought this was a good idea? It's the New Jersey Jets, 0-3, taking on the Miami Dolphins, 0-3. Fun fact, though, neither of these teams has a defense, so it actually could be an entertaining game. Probably more entertaining than some of the primetime games we've seen. But
it might actually be, yeah.
It could be a shootout, but no one's going to care because they're 0-3, and it's not going to affect anything except, draft order.
You don't feel good about the winner. If either team wins, they, have a bounce back. I think we both think that these teams are just not going to be that good.
Yeah, just mail in the season here. I don't like either of these teams. Neither team has a defense. They both have weapons on offense, though. You got Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson in New York. You got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane at running back. Mentioned Ollie Gordon as the backup running back there. He's been effective. Yeah, it's pretty ugly, but I guess it's going to come down to the quarterback. Is Tua Tagovailoa going to outperform Tyrod Taylor / Justin Fields? I'll say I don't think it matters who the Jets trot out at quarterback. I think their offense is going to look the same anyway. I think they're both just as effective. So I'll let you take this one. What do you think?
I am picking the Dolphins. I feel better about them. Like, I think their offense could come to light. And I think, like, we obviously make fun of the Dolphins. They haven't been a very good team, but it's not like they've been horrible across the board. Like, they had, who did they have a close game against? I forget. It was on.
They played the Patriots close, and they hung in there against Buffalo a little bit.
Yeah, okay, there was a primetime game I was thinking about, which was the Bills, but which, I mean, even that, like, I mean, weird things do happen, but,
weird realization. Miami's getting back-to-back primetime games. That is not okay. My goodness.
I mean, yeah, Miami getting back-to-back primetime games, but honestly, we should do what we should do to riot. Since I'll probably be out of town, so we talked about this. You might be soloing the reaction on Sunday night. Honestly, we should just do it on Monday and just do the reaction, not even acknowledge the Monday night games, just do a reaction. No, but anyway, yeah, I will. I'm picking the Dolphins here. But if the Jets won, it wouldn't shock me either. But what about you?
All right, I'm going Dolphins as well. I kind of thought you were going to go Jets, to be honest. But my caveat here is, well, not caveat, but I guess something I'm adding in is if the Jets pull this off, to which no one should be surprised, if the Jets win this game, I think McDaniel's gone. I think they fire him. I don't think that they're going to ride it out any longer. They get rid of him, and the Tyreek Hill trade rumors are going to ramp up. So I guess in that regard, this game's important. If you're a Dolphins fan and you want him fired, then you better be rooting for a loss, because I think that's what will happen. But I said a moment ago, I think it's going to come down to who's the better quarterback. And as bad as Tua has been in crucial moments this year, he should be better than Tyrod Taylor / Justin Fields. And I do think they have the better weapons there. So when it's a shootout, it's a shootout first to 30 points maybe. I'm going to take the team with more weapons and the team who has multiple players I'm starting in fantasy. So give me the Dolphins. I don't feel good about it. Yeah, it's going to be ugly. Going to be ugly.
Sure.
Finally, completing our doubleheader on Monday Night Football, you got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are going to win this game. They need a bounce back. They need a win. They're 1-2 right now. 2 good losses to the Chargers and the Colts. Both very close games, like last-second losses, basically. Denver is still a good team. They've regressed a little bit. Their defense is not as good as we thought. And Bo Nix is, well, he's what I thought he would be, but he's disappointed a lot of other people. Cincinnati, though, if we want to talk about disappointments, man, you hate to see it. I feel so bad for their fans because Joe Burrow going down, the worst thing that could happen after this offseason they've had. Based on what we saw against Minnesota, I can't imagine Cincinnati's offense is going to do much against Denver's defense. I can't imagine that Cincinnati's defense is going to stop Denver's run game. I think Bo Nix is probably going to have a pretty efficient day as well. Give me Denver, no doubt. It's miles ahead of this team, mile high.
No, I don't blame you there, but I will say this, which is that the Bengals are 2-1 and the Broncos are 1-2. So therefore, the Bengals are better than the Broncos. So therefore, the Bengals will win this game. But
hey, look, that checks out. You can't disagree.
No, very fraudulent 2-1 Bengals team. I'm picking the Broncos here as well. It would surprise me if the Bengals won, but I think Bo Nix is going to feast on that defense. Jake Brown's going to continue to disappoint, and again, I just can't unsee what I saw against the Vikings. Like, we both picked the Bengals in that game. Right? Yeah, we both picked the Bengals.
Yeah, we did, and we felt really foolish about that really soon after it started.
Nope. So it does not look like, unless the Bengals really change things up, it does not look like they will be a good team moving forward.
And I do not trust Zach Taylor to change things up on offense enough to correct all the mistakes.
Yeah. So definitely picking the Broncos here.
Easy one there for us both. Alrighty, that's going to do it for our predictions this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. We had several disagreements. I'm up 4 points in our Pick'em contest here. I'm at 33-15, and Daniel, you are...
I'm 29-19, so 4-point difference if that math is mathing.
Yeah, and if we recall this correctly, we had 4 swing games in this video. Correct us if we're wrong in the comments.
5, but we had a few disagreements, so it'll be fun to watch. I mean, it could be something to where like I get close to evening out. It could also get really ugly for me if the swing games go wrong. But no, we're just doing this for fun. This isn't necessarily the most competitive endeavor or anything like that. I mean, there's it's nice to have the competition there, but ultimately it does give us a good opportunity to talk about the games and give our predictions. So definitely very thankful to be doing that.
Absolutely. I'm glad we have this platform where we can do that. I mean, we're just two guys who like to talk football, and that's why the channel's called Football for Fun. We're just two guys who talk football for fun. So
you enjoy two guys who like talking about football for fun, you want some more content, feel free to subscribe to our channel. We do these predictions as well as just things like, just like reactions and like, there's some like shorts, college football content, things like that. So
rankings and
game
commentary every
as
week
well.
too.
Yep. So stay tuned for those, definitely. And anything else you want to add?
Yeah, we just hit 270 subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
We're at 270 as of this recording, so really thankful to all of our new subs. Really appreciate all the support we can get. We are quickly growing this month. We only hit 200 a couple of weeks ago, so really thankful. Especially a shout out to Tom Grassi. He sent us a raid on our live stream the other day. That one of the coolest moments of my life, honestly, because I'm a big fan of his. Like, oh, Tom Grassi's in our chat. This is wild. That was awesome, so really appreciate him and the Grassi Posse. Thank you guys so much. We're working hard to grow our channel and give you guys good content while we're just talking football for fun, so thank you so much. Road to 300 is underway. Hopefully we get there soon.
Yes, sir. Let's get there soon, and then 500 before we know it.
Hope so, man. Hope so. Thank you all again so much. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know what you think in the comments. We'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Peace.